morning, Stitch Roadies. How are y'all doing? It is a fairly decent day today. There's scattered clouds, blue sky, although we are heading back into some rain and overcast and all of that provides us with the variation of weather that creates a beautiful garden. Yes, I am trying to feel blessed these days. I'm turning over a new leaf. I realize that in this world that's so reactionary, I only have control of myself, and I have to tell you this story. So my, this is a channel about cross stitch, by the way. We'll get to the cross stitch in a moment, but I have to just jibber jabber for a bit. So my bank was one of those that went belly up back last year and got bought by another bank. So I was trying to yesterday put in my phone carrier so I could pay the bill into the new bank. But I can't get into the old bank to get the account number and the mailing address and all of that. So I went on my phone and I called my carrier. I'm babbling a bit here. Called my carrier to, and I have a point to make, by the way. I called my carrier to find out the mailing address so I could mail in a payment via the bank, not actually write it out, because does anybody get to do that anymore? Anyway, I ended up at a call center. It was obvious to me that it was in another country, and I talked with the gal and went through it and explained it, and through our various understanding of each other finally got a mailing address for my phone carrier. So when I went to put it in to the online bank, the zip didn't match the address, and I thought, you know, between my being able to understand her and maybe writing it down wrong, maybe I have the wrong zip, and I just didn't want to take the chance. So I called back again, and I got a different call center with a different gentleman who was obviously somewhere else. And so between my understanding him and him understanding me, I told him that I'd just been on the phone and this is what I got, and he said, no, that's wrong, because that's the address. If you have a complaint, I might have to keep that one. But this is the mailing address that you would send your payment to. And I was so proud of myself, because I normally I'm not a very patient person. It's part of my jitteriness and impatience. I just want to get stuff done. I want to keep moving, and I have to keep going. And I was on the phone long enough that my Apple Watch said time to stand up. I had been sitting going through all of this so long that the Apple Watch was telling me, yep, you need to get up and move around. And so when I finally got done and finally got everything inputted correctly, I was so proud of myself. And I think that's every time you're faced with something in the world that you just want to scream or go ballistic, and you take a deep breath and take it with a little bit of patience and grace, you should give yourself a star. I'm telling you, I felt great all day for not having lost it. for not having, I was actually proud. It's part of that thing I told you that I'm trying to parent myself, and I felt really good about myself all day long, all day long. And so it made me realize that this is probably better for my health and better for myself to just realize that the world has changed. I mean, our parents, the first time I wore bell-bottom pants, my parents probably were, I can't do this change in the world. And so, yeah, I would encourage you to. And then I found this note. You know, I write myself notes all over the place because, you know, it's what I have to do. And I found this pad with this note on it, and the note was written to for 2023, and here we're in 2024, but I think it still applies. And I wrote to myself, words I will not use in 2023. I need to, I should, and I plan to. I'm embracing it for 2024 because those phrases bring with it a certain judgment, and I'm leaving that behind. I don't know about you, but I'm leaving that behind. So let's talk about some cross stitch. I had a wonderful stitch day. I got to meet a fellow stitcher from Missouri, Skeets. She was on a plane and road trip by herself. I am like, that's my woman. That's the kind of person I want to be brave and just do it. And so she went to the Oregon coast, and then she was making her way down for quilt shops and acorns and threads. And let me tell you, she is a Brenda Gervais fan, because she had a stack of charts, all Brenda Gervais, which was like, all of it was, you know, it's like eye candy. You just want a book with just the covers so you can just look at them. But it was so nice to meet her, and I hope that as you pass through, if you ever pass through Portland, and I happen to be at Acorns and Threads, I would love to spend some time. She came in and sat in the stitch group, and we just chatted and chatted. It was awesome to meet a fellow stitcher from an entirely different state and get their perspective on their life and how they approach things. I love that. I love that. And tomorrow is Saturday Stitch, so I am very much looking forward to that. I think I got to do a little bit of shopping though, because I'm looking for a certain color fabric. With that said, let me just remind you, I saw this morning on, if you're not a part of the needlework group on Facebook, I just want to make sure that I have the title, because I belong to two of Julie Kursave's needlework groups. One is for wool applique, and this one is for samplers. And she just posted today an exclusive sampler, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So if you're a big sampler fan, you have to be a member of the group. Look at my phone is not... Maybe they said she called too many times. Oh, here it goes. It's Homespun Needlework. It's a Facebook group run by Julie Kursave, and you get to interact with people that are of like mind in cross stitch, and it doesn't have to be just one thing. But today is the day that you get to sign up for an exclusive. She posted the exclusive and where you can order it from, because it's specific to certain places that you can order it. And I don't want you to miss out if you love samplers. Okay, I did get a message from Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery, because I had requested that she chart something for me, and I can't wait to show you. It's for my anniversary this year, and it's just, I love it. I absolutely love it, and it was so kind of her to do that, so I'm like, yay! I have that start in my future. I think I have enough time because my anniversary's towards the end of September. And yeah, she's sending it to me today, I think. She's sending it to me today. Okay, so let's talk some more cross stitch. Yeah. Fat Quarter Shop, be sure you go on their site. Fat Quarter Shop is doing a, they're doing several, but I'm doing one of them, and it is the Star of Wonder Mystery Stitch Along. And so just go on their site and look for that Mystery Stitch Along. And let me just show you, what did I do with the threads? Oh, here they are. Okay, so here it is. Mystery Stitch Along. And I am going to be doing this. Starts in July. And I am doing it on 18 count Aida ivory. And I'm using the called for, I got the Aida 18 count ivory from Acorns and Threads, and I'm using the called for Classic Color Works on this. Oh, and the finish size is 6 by 6, so totally manageable. And that way I have my next Christmas stitch that'll be a stitch along. So if you want to join me, please go on to Fat Quarter Shop. I have been stitching, you know, because we have Christmas. I stitch Christmas a little bit every month, and I've had to figure out a way to make my Prairie Schooler Santas move forward, because I'm so hooked on the New York Times games in the morning. So I like to stitch one length of floss every morning before I play my games. And the current one, you know, start a Prairie Schooler, finish a Prairie Schooler, Sal. This is the one I'm working on, that I've been working on forever. But now I'm almost done. And that's because just one length of thread each morning, and then I set the next morning's thread length so it's all ready to go. And here we are. Yeah, so just the lantern and a few more snowflakes at the bottom, and this is done. And so I decided I really want to do the 2024 Santa. I know people don't like the back stitching and all of that, and I'm not a big fan either, but there's something about that in this particular chart. And so I got this at Acorns and Threads. It's so, I just love all those trees in the background. He's got a heart. Yeah, so that, and that's in my, that's So Kelly Bitsy Bob. So how am I doing on my designated stitch? Okay, I moved my Lowry stand. Well, what happened was, I have an excuse or a reason for everything. So I had a couple girlfriends here visiting, and we were going to look at a slideshow, and I have a projector in here, and I was pulling the blackout curtains that go across these windows because it's very light and bright in here. And when I went to open them, I didn't realize that the curtain hooked onto my cactus plant, and the dirt went everywhere back here. So I had to pull everything out so I could vacuum, which included the Lowry stand that I had back here that I had been using occasionally with this chair. Well, when I pulled it out, I thought to myself, I'm going to try it with the designated stitch in the evening. And it's interesting to me because that Lowry stand works perfectly with that stressless chair as opposed to this overstuffed chair. And so I have, like, all over again, I'm doing two-handed stitching. I'm practicing that. It's, yeah, so when you buy these different ways, different contraptions for stitching, they don't always work all in one spot. You got to spread them around your house and see where they function the best. And I love it in there. So now the designated stitch is being stitched on the Lowry stand. And currently my designated stitch is by Rebel Stitcher Designs, Women of Honor Sampler. And this has been a nice journey for me because I have been looking up each woman on this chart and then reading about them and their history and their life and all of that. And so it's been fun. It's been like a little education along with everything else. But here I am. This is on a piece of fabric that a Portland cut, we call that at Acorns and Threads, a Portland cut, and it is, let's see, oh, I left it in the other room. Well, anyway, it's a huge piece of fabric, but I love it. I'm not going to cut it till I actually get all the way across, so I get my border on. Then I'll cut it. It's just lovely. So rebelstitcher.com, it's an original design. When I was at, I do a Zoom. I like Zoom. I know a lot of people don't like it. Maybe it reminds them of the pandemic. But it works well for me because most of the time the Zoom is in the evening and I don't drive at night. I've had a long history of night blindness, and so I just don't drive anywhere at night unless G drives me, and he won't cross stitch. Yeah, so the Zoom works well for me. And Margaret, my friend Margaret, who is the Zoom queen at Acorns and Threads, sets up the Zoom from her house, and we have and Janine is at the shop, so she can show us anything new that comes in. And we have members of that Zoom group from all over the world. It's so amazing. All over the United States and all over the world. They get up at different times to be able to Zoom all together. And it's so fun to, it makes the world smaller to be able to talk to someone and what they're stitching and what's going on in their town or their country. It's something I very much value and enjoy. But what happens also is that Janine, being at the shop during the Zoom, will show new things that had come in. And then we'll take your name down if you say, oh, I'll take that. So we have a little, it's a little bit of the shopping network on Zoom. It's so funny. And because I'm local, I mean, I am on the other side of the river, but basically local, then when I go over there, I will have my pile that during the Zoom I would have shopped. And I did buy fabric because she got a shipment of fabric in. And so I bought 36 count coffee, and I love, she brought a lot of Cedar River linen, and if you have never tried that, you must at least try one piece. This is out of Washington State. It's awesome. So this is coffee stain 36 count. Overcast 40 count. And that is Cedar River. This one is Needles and Flax 36 count Sleeping Bear. And this was an exclusive fabric through Acorns and Threads for an exclusive that she had. But I loved the fabric. It's kind of like a beige or sand color with just a hint of pink. Just a hint, barely, barely. And then, because I am brave, this year is my year to be brave. And this is by Cedar River, Spindrift, 56 count. Can you see? Can you see it? 56 count. You can do it. You can do it. I mean, if I didn't have, it's a challenge. But with this Anita lamp that I got from the Fat Quarter Shop that has the light that comes down directly, and then the built-in phone holder and the magnifier, I just sit at this table and stitch away at my 56 count, and I love it. As long as I can do it, I'm going to keep doing it so that I have a little record of my journey. I got this at, the attic in Mesa, Arizona. That's this one here. And I'm using Overaswal 1003. I mean, without that Anita lamp. And I know, I've been told by several viewers that they have bought the, not the table one like I have, they bought the floor lamp, which, ooh, that sounds interesting too. But look at that. It's so tiny. But there's my first two letters, and it's my initials. So, it is absolutely so dainty. I'm trying to, ever since I saw Linda, aka Van Mom, she has a Patreon and is just a fabulous stitcher. Ever since I saw her wall when I visited her, she had a wall of just covered with these little red samplers. I have been red with envy. Yeah, red with envy. And I want one too. So I'm going to keep doing 56 count as long as I can with this Anita lamp. we had our Thursday stitch group, which was, no, not Thursday, Wednesday Biscornu Day, and I was working on my Nebby needle, Quirky Tomato. So, you know, I got one done, one side done, and I almost have the other. And then I'm going to be making my first cross-stitch Biscornu. Then I get to pick the next one I want to do. And at Biscornu Day, I will include at the end some pictures. Anita, who is a regular stitcher at the stitch groups at Acorns and Threads, brought a bag full of the Biscornu she made, and she is, I strive to be Anita some days. She gets so much done. Nothing stops her. She is constantly pushing herself to make different things. I mean, some of the Biscornus had heart anger on it, and they were truly beautiful. So I have a photo of the front and the backs of them that I'll have G put at the end. So be sure you stay all the way through to the end. It looks like for June is such a busy month, and July is equally busy because I have I'm on the staff of the Quilters Affair in Sisters, Oregon, so it just creates one busy thing after another that if I meet my goal for my stars, because here we are already halfway through the month and I only have one, it will be a freaking miracle. But I'm not using the words I should, I need to, I plan to. It's what it is. That's what my girlfriend Robin always says. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Next month, in July, the Olympics happens. You might want to, do you want us to take a break and so you can go get a beverage and maybe go to the restroom? I mean, I have been babbling, but let me just say that next month is the Olympics. And the gals all at Acorns and Threads, every Olympics, they stitch a Olympic themed chart together. I'm not doing the chart they're doing, but I am doing a Paris chart because the Summer Olympics is in Paris, which is one of my favorite, I mean, doesn't everybody say Paris is their favorite, favorite city? I have so many favorite cities though. But Paris really is close to my heart because I've had so many wonderful experiences there. And so I found two charts that I downloaded off of Etsy. And I don't know which one to do. Let me hear from you. Which one would you do? So this one is a mini. I really love it. But it is full coverage. It's a full coverage mini. It's so cute. I mean, I ran the Eiffel Tower. I trained for months before I went there so that I could run the stairs of the Eiffel Tower. And yeah, so there's that one. And then there is Pretty Little Paris by Satsuma Street. And this is not a full coverage. So which one appeals to you? This one? Or this one? It looks like a postage stamp. So cool. I did get another chart sent to me when the Fat Quarter Shop was talking about the Mystery Sal that starts in July. And I'm doing Star of Wonder, just reminding. I picked up this chart. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There was something very appealing about the colors, the saturation of colors, and it's by the Tiny Modernist, The Spooky Teapot. Isn't that pretty? But what I think makes this pretty is it's stitched on this kind of olive green fabric. And when I looked through my fabrics, I found this one called Celadon, but it's much lighter. I don't know if I'm going to like it on this Celadon as much if I try to find this darker green. So I think I'm going to just take this, because I go to Acorns tomorrow, and try to find this fabric and see if compared to this one, maybe take them both and compare them. But what do you think? Yeah, isn't that a cute chart? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so what else have we got? Yesterday we watched a really fascinating, it was from 2022, and it was just playing on the television, the movie was, and it was it was the Murder on the Nile with Kenneth Branagh, yeah, and Annette Bening. It was really good. I mean, we were both like riveted. I didn't get as much stitching done on my designated stitch because I'd keep stopping and, okay, what's going to happen next? You know, but it was enchanting. Everything about it was. But when they got to the pyramids, it just blew my mind. How in the world were those built? You know? I mean, when you see people, like, how in the world was it built? It's an amazing world we live in. Yeah. I'm kind of working my way through my books that I have. I have this huge queue of books. And I think I need a good thriller or mystery. I think I need to spice it up. The books I'm reading, you know, are a combination of nonfiction and social fiction, which are I think I need a good murder. And so I wondered if anyone had read, because I got an email from the bookstore, and one of the books that they recommended is actually part of a series that I had never heard of. And so I wondered if any of you have read them, and are they worth reading, the series? And should I start from the beginning, or can I just pick it up with the latest book? So apparently the latest book is called The Housemaid is Watching. Or maybe that's the name of the whole series. The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. Have any of you read that series, and is it worth reading, or is it like, oh, well, yeah, because I kind of feel like I need a little bit of a spicy thriller, you know, like you couldn't put it down and you don't want to turn the lights off at night kind of book. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I want right now. So let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have some fabulous stitching. Stay tuned for some photographs that I'll post, because I not only have the Biscornus by Anita, but Jennifer, who is a part of the group, brought a couple of her samplers. talk about stitching. Yeah, so I'll post those at the end too. You all take care. I hope that you either are staying warm and hunkered down in your winter, or you're out enjoying your summer. Love you guys.